Hello and welcome to What's Happening in Your Neighborhood. I'm Scott Pemberton, and today I have City Councillor of Ward 3, Shawn Oliver. Shawn, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Scott? Pleasure to be here. Good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thanks for being here. And in fact, I want to say thank you because you actually got this show started for me. You know, you were with Jesse,
yeah.
So I can get certified to be officially to do the show. So I thank you for that.
No, and again, I appreciate the invitation to do that. That was quite an experience, and I've been watching the show as you've been progressing, and it's nice to see that it's picking up. You're having a good range of guests, and now I told you from the beginning, whenever you want me to come on, I'll make myself available.
Yeah,
so
and
thanks again.
I appreciate that. And today I got you on because now in the city here, the mayor has come up with a new app in the city. It's called NBConnected.
NBConnected.
Right. Yeah.
ED.
So
not
and
connect,
we got to make sure it's
people,
connect because
right.
I got to be honest with you. When I first downloaded it, I did the same thing. I did NBConnect.
And you get something
else.
else.
You get something else. I'm saying, wait a minute, this is not it. So I had to go back and look what it was, and then I found out that it was connected.
Yes.
So
NBConnected ED,
right.
the past tense.
So now tell us a little bit about this new app now. I know we placed the Click Fix it, right?
Click Fix, yeah. So the city has had a Click Fix app for quite some time, it's been. Was a big user of the app.
Right.
Some of the department heads even told me that I probably use it. Probably one of the most. I think it's the mayor and me.
And you.
We're using it the most. But it's a good way to see something, say something in the city, whether it's potholes, street lights, or whatever it is. So it's a good way to voice your concerns. So when that app rolled out, it hasn't changed that much since it first rolled out.
Right. Okay.
This new application, which is available both on iOS and Android.
All right.
You can buy it, iPhones, Android, Google Play Store. It's all free on the app stores. This is going to be a little bit more interactive as far as what you could do. You can still voice your concerns, potholes, street lights, tree trimming, general, concerns that you have in the neighborhood.
Right.
And there are also other mechanisms that you're going to be able to do parking, beach parking, paying your bills, excise tax, property tax, things like that.
Nice.
So it's going to be a little bit more interactive.
Okay.
Plus the applications are pretty much sky's the limit. We can start adding newer features to it. So it's always going to be a progressive app.
Okay. Now I heard you say something about the beach parking. So that means you won't need a beach sticker anymore?
Well, you'll still need to get the beach sticker. And what I mean is like anywhere where there's a meter.
Right.
Mainly downtown, the avenue, things like that.
Okay.
But you'll still need a.
You still need a beach parking to do that.
Beach
okay.
parking, pass. But it's you're gonna. I'd like to see it when we get to the level where you do. Like we all have them, our push notifications, right?
Right.
With all of our applications, it's like it lets you know, hey, this new thing is up, or this new podcast is up, or whatever. I'd like to see it when we get to the level where it's like, especially in the season that we're in right now, still with parking bans and snow warnings and things like that. I'd like to see us be able to send notifications. Through the app.
Through the app.
Where it's like, hey, reminder, snow ban, parking ban in effect.
Yeah.
Because when there's a lot of uncertainty around inclement weather, I know myself, probably my colleagues as well, get those phone calls. Is there a parking ban? How do
exactly?
And nobody knows how to park during a parking ban. What side of the street? Which side of so it'll be another way that the city can remain transparent. With the goings on in the city, and let people know about certain events like that.
So now, when something's going on in the city like that, so who's actually the one that is there a company that controls it, that sends out these messages?
Well, we're going to be able to
Or
control
you're
it.
gonna
It won't be me, myself,
Right.
but you
Will it
have,
come from the mayor's office?
you have obviously you'll have directives that come from the mayor's office
Right.
in conjunction with
Okay.
their public information officer that
Right,
they have.
yep.
Same thing with DPI if they have something. But the other thing, and SeeClickFix had this same option too, and I really enjoy it, is you can sign up to, if you want to stay up to date on what's happening in your neighborhood.
Right, yeah.
Perfect segue there. If you want to stay up on what's happening in your neighborhood, you can sign up for the notifications within the proximity of your area.
Okay.
So if my neighbor sees something
Yeah.
and uses the app, I'd get a notification, just like you would, and you signed up for it. You
Right.
would get that notification that
Oh, that's nice. Then.
you know, there's an issue with that tree, or there's
right.
an issue with that, there's a pothole over here. So it lets the neighborhood know what's going on.
Okay.
The main difference, which is huge with this new application, is that before you would use the SeeClickFix app, you'd put in your concern, and it would get sent off in an email form to, I believe it was like one of the DPI secretaries. And then they would be charged with, okay, what's the issue?
Right.
What department does this have to go to? And generating the work order.
Okay.
This is going to streamline that, not taking the job away from that person, but
Right.
Just alleviating some of the, because all of them coming in at once is a little cumbersome and could be a lot for just, which technically, it's been her job for a while, but she has other things going on.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Aside from that. So
Right.
that's going to alleviate some of the burden that's been put on that department, but it's going to go directly to the department that it would, like automatically, the app will filter it. So if you have a pothole, which is
Right,
probably
yeah.
one of our most
Yeah, the thing in the city,
used,
yeah, right.
it'll go right to a tablet that our pothole foreman, if you will,
Right.
and a work order will be generated instantly with a number that you
Yep.
can track,
Okay.
and you'll start getting communication. Thank you for your, for your submission.
Yep.
We'll be out in the next
be
couple
out.
of days to assess, and then once they do, they was out there, going to be repaired, and almost give you like a repair window.
Oh, okay.
So that way you can kind of
Right.
expect, hey, in the next 7 to 10 days, somebody's going to come
Somebody out
address
there
it.
and address, yeah.
And but it's just a good way to interact back and forth.
Good, yeah.
And stay up to date on what's happening in your neighborhood.
Yeah. So, with that being said, too, when you say being up to date with what's happening in your neighborhood and stuff, so like, if we have a lot of events going on in the city,
Yeah.
will
That would be something
Is that
almost
something that-
similar to what I was saying about like the snow ban, right?
Right.
We'd be able to
So you'd be able to
send
do that.
out that information.
Right.
Because even though that we live in a day where you get most of your information from these little devices,
yeah.
you want to remain in everybody's forefront. you
Sure,
know?
sure.
So typically it's kind of just been there's a press release, or we post it on
Right,
Facebook,
on
or we make an
Facebook, right,
event on Facebook, and it kind of if it catches legs, it does.
And that's what I was going to say.
But with this, my idea, or what I envision for one of the capabilities of this app is to be like, we'll use 50s night, Joe Jesus
Right.
50s night,
Yep.
to let people know, join us this week.
Exactly, right.
So that way, everybody who downloads the NBConnected app
Right,
can be connected
Yeah.
to not just what's going on in the city as far as public infrastructure or things like that, but what's happening.
See, and
what
that's
different
good.
events are going on.
See, that's
throughout.
great, and I love that, because for me, I try to be involved as much as I can in the city, and I try to attend things as much as I can. But there are also sometimes I see things going on. It's like, when was that happening?
I didn't
I didn't know
hear-
about it.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. because sometimes by the time you do know, it's too late. You're already doing something else.
And even as elected officials, we get so much communication because there is a lot that goes on in the city of New Bedford.
Right.
Not just what the city puts on,
Yeah.
but what other groups
always get
like Joe
inviting
Jesus
you.
50s
Yeah.
night, things that are happening at Hazelwood Park, like reggae at the beach, things like that. So there are a lot of other things that are going on throughout the city.
Exactly.
So I really see this being an added tool to bring neighborhoods together.
Right, yeah, and I hope so, because that's what that's one of the things I'm saying. It'd be nice, because sometimes I see these messages boards out there, and I'm saying, gee, it'd be nice to have a nice permanent message board somewhere in the city.
Right.
Know what's going on out there, because we don't, these days, it's, you get it on Facebook, but I always notice, because even when I post things on Facebook, it doesn't seem like it doesn't go to everybody till you need it to go sometimes.
It gets a little bit, what do I have to, which groups should I post this to? Who should I share it with? And things like that. So when folks, download a particular app, obviously the app developers and the people utilizing it have a little control over who sees the message. That is not something that it's doing right now, but that's something that I can see it doing
in the future.
The good thing, also part of this is, when you're doing these issues of concern, a street light that's out, a pothole, you can take pictures, you can take video. Sometimes it's tough to describe. Maybe something's making a noise, and you can't really describe the noise. You can take a video of it, post that.
Right.
And that way, when it gets to the proper department, they know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
And I think it's going to streamline things a little bit because without that information, without that additional information, our departments will go to the area, then have to assess, and then maybe they'll have to go back to the yard to get something.
Right.
This way, it's just a good way to get as much information ahead of time.
Yep.
And instead of those multiple trips or things like that, our teams can go to these areas, address the issue right then and there, and then it's done.
Right, nice.
So I think it's going to be a real big added feature. From the beginning of when I first ran, I was, very big on download the app, and start utilizing it. And the same thing with this is, a lot of your elected officials, we're all on it.
We're all on it, yeah.
So we're all seeing, at least I know I can speak for myself, all the notifications that, when you put something in, I'm seeing
You're seeing it.
And it helps us stay on top of the issue.
Yeah, exactly,
too.
right.
And a lot of people, although, like my colleagues and I, there's 11 of us, you have the mayor and then obviously all the various departments, but we can't be on every street,
right? Yeah.
On every corner,
right?
In every parking lot. Although a lot of people think that we are,
you are,
right?
Yeah, right.
I've lived in the city almost my whole life, and there are still some streets that I've never been on.
You've never been on, yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
So you can't always assume that city leadership or those who have the power to do things know.
Right.
So this puts the tool right in the hand of the over 100,000 plus people that we have
in the city, exactly.
And now kind of everybody gets involved and can really, because those are the things that really, really affect you on a daily basis.
Yes, yeah.
When you go because we're all creatures of habit, right? We leave the house, we back out of our driveway a certain way, or we go down a certain couple, set streets.
Right.
And we take the same routes all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a pothole at the bottom of your street and you're hitting it every day, and you're saying, man, I wish that the city could do something about that. Well, first, if we don't know about it, we can't fix it.
Exactly.
And because there's not somebody just driving around looking for potholes.
Right, no, they're not going to say that.
But if you're able to download this free app, take a quick picture, and you can use GPS coordinates right through your phone, so it'll know exactly where that pothole is.
So, now let's say not everybody has a cell phone.
Not
Most
everybody.
do,
Yep.
but not everybody. So let's say I don't have a cell phone,
Yeah.
but I want to report something.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing that up, because it's even in this day and age, there are still folks that don't
Right.
use these things,
Right.
right? Or they have, some of the less, tech-friendly phone with flip phones.
Right.
I think my grandparents just got rid of their flip phone.
Yeah, my mom still likes the flip phone.
And so those folks are still able to utilize this feature,
Okay.
although not the app.
Right.
We have we are involved in the 311 system.
Okay.
A lot of big municipalities are using this.
Okay.
Worcester, Springfield,
Uh-huh.
Boston.
Right.
And what folks can do is any device, landline, cell phone, business phone, all that, whatever if you can make a phone call from it, you can dial 311
Okay.
and speak with, there's a little bit of an automated
Right.
service, but you can do exactly what we're talking about, the good old-fashioned way, just picking up the phone
Right.
and letting them know, hey, the street light is out on County Street.
Yeah. And are you getting a live person by them, or is it a recording by that?
So there's prompts for that are pre-recorded,
Okay.
and you'll have, and then somebody will dispatch it from there.
Right. Right.
So, but it gives you the ability to still, affect change in your neighborhood.
Right, exactly.
And still get those trouble day-to-day things
Right.
addressed.
And the only difference is you won't just be able to send pictures, obviously.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean,
pictures
on
or
a landline
video
phone, yeah.
or anything
Right.
like
So
that.
you, in that case, you want to be more descriptive, or as much descriptive as you can be.
Absolutely. You can't just say, hey, there's a pothole at the bottom of my street.
Right, yeah.
Where is it? What's the closest address? Things like that.
Things like that, right.
Would help. But that's a system that, again, a lot of major cities have been using for a while.
Right.
And we're giving it a shot. And
Nice.
I think it's going to address some of the issues, because I think a lot of folks out there, I know a lot of times I'd get a phone call just saying I didn't know who to call.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't want to bother you with this.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't know who else to call.
Yeah.
And they feel as if they can, and they can obviously still call you, your
Still call, sure,
counselor,
yeah.
still call,
Yeah, absolutely.
or whoever you feel comfortable with.
Right.
But maybe you don't know that what department handles that particular issue. You don't have to with this system. You can just dial 311 and it'll get dispatched. It'll get dispatched that way. So,
Right.
And I think it takes a little bit of the fear of reaching out to your elected officials, or
Yep.
reaching out to. You don't want to, burden anybody.
Right.
Listen, it's our job. Give us a call.
Right.
Use the services that we have. I think it's going to really help us address a lot of the,
Right.
smaller pain points that pain us all.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see that street light's been out for a week, and
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So.
And we just want to remind you, this is just for all non-emergency essentials. Obviously, if it's an
Right,
emergency,
yeah,
you still want to dial 911.
absolutely. This is 311, not 911, right?
Yeah.
So you want, if it's something that you think that it's, prudent enough that it's like you need immediate attention, and you need, the public safety is truly at risk here. Like,
Yeah.
there's a sinkhole on.
Right. Yeah, you shouldn't be using 311.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using 311. You should be calling
Right.
911, the police station,
Yeah.
anybody who come.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's going to be really good. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I use it pretty much definitely on a weekly basis, and it's a good way to keep track of for me, of what's going on, what I entered, and it keeps it in your history too.
Right.
So you can look at past things.
The past things, how many times you've...
Right. And if like say for example, we'll keep using streetlights because it's another common thing.
Right.
If last month I put in a request for the street light and it got fixed, and then 2 months later it's out again, and it gets fixed, and I look and I'm like, all right, this has been fixed twice, and another 2 months goes by and it's out again.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we have an issue there.
We got an issue there, right? Exactly.
So it's just
better way
going
to
to really
track it.
keep everything all together in one location.
Good.
On the devices that we use
every
every day.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and it's again, it's 100% free. It is. I have it right on my. As soon as I open my my phone,
Yep.
I have it. It's one of the most. You know, it's my most used thing.
You're used.
But the other thing too is like you know, you can get other information on there. Is applying for permits.
Okay.
That's a new feature that we're automating.
All right. So if anybody's doing any work in their house
Right,
and they have to pull a permit,
Right.
they can just.
And it lets you keep track of your permits.
Oh.
So that way, like, you know, you get the permit, it lets you know, first off, where you are in the permit process. Your
Okay.
application has been accepted.
Right,
It's
yeah.
under review. This, come on in and pick it up, the physical
yeah.
copy. But it'll now you'll store your permits there as well.
Right.
So that way, if you misplace it or something,
it's on
you
your
have
phone.
that
Yeah.
still. Another thing is city jobs. You'll be able to find city jobs that
nice.
that various departments are hiring for.
Nice.
So that way, anybody who's looking for employment, first job, second
Right, yep.
job, extra job, whatever
Yeah.
it is,
Right.
that's a feature on there as well.
And it just lets you know, or does it directly you right to an application to fill out as well too? Or
Well, it'll bring
it just
you.
informs
Well,
you.
normally, what it does, it'll bring you to the page, our city's webpage.
Okay.
And then it'll have the job listings there.
Right.
And you can click through the various prompts for that.
Right. Okay. Good.
But it's just all about making it easier to navigate. You know,
yeah.
there are some things that you go on the app and it'll bring you right to the city's official website, where even that is a little bit is interactive. You can check the various meetings that are going on
Right.
with the council, but also zoning board and the traffic commission, and as you and I know, all the different ward meetings,
right.
that we have throughout the city.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that I think attendance has been getting better at a lot of them, but I always encourage people to go on our website, find out where the closest meeting
right.
is to you,
Yeah.
and maybe it's not. Maybe you live in Ward 3, but the Ward 2 meeting is closer.
Right.
You can attend all of them.
Sure.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, I try to attend
Right.
quite a few. I attend the one in Ward 3.
Right.
I attend the Ward 2 meeting, and even last night I attended the Ward 1 meeting where you were as well. So a lot of your elected officials, at least one of us,
Right.
is always there.
Always there. Yeah.
And even if we're not your ward counselor, you have a lot of at-larges that come.
Right.
The mayor's office normally has a liaison there.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to hear what's happening, and B, it's direct access to your elected officials.
You know, and like you said, I mean, you go to any of those ward meetings just because if you don't live in there. I mean, you know, I live in the Ward 2 area, but maybe in Ward 3 where you live, you may have a guest speaker or somebody there that I may be interested in.
Right.
You know?
A lot of times we will have a guest speaker. This round has been, I think, Ward 3 had it, and Ward 2. We had somebody from the water
Water
department.
Correct.
And talking about the lead removal service.
Right.
And, what is expected from the homeowners and the property owners.
Yep.
What the city of New Bedford is doing, why we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's these meetings are not just a airing of grievances.
Right,
It's
exactly.
very informative. It lets folks know, again, what's going on.
Right.
And if you have any concerns, there's always a community police officer that attends these meetings.
Right.
So if you have law enforcement concerns, problem property in the area, or things that it's just, again, another avenue where you can use your voice to affect change in where you live.
Right. And so, again, because I know time is dwindling down.
It goes quick.
It does go. It really does. This half hour is like, so remind the folks, so it's easy setup. You know, you get the phone.
Yeah.
Right, you go to the App Store.
Super easy. Regardless of what you have, iPhone, Android, whatever, you go to whatever app store you use, and you just type in NBConnected,
Right.
ED at the end.
Yep.
And you'll see it. It's a little icon It'll say, and it'll NB in the green and blue and green colors.
Yep.
That people have kind of been familiar with, city government.
City government,
To me,
yes.
New Bedford's colors have always been red and white.
Right. Yeah.
Even my political signs
Right. Yeah.
are red and white
Yeah.
to me.
Yes.
I'm a whaler.
Yeah.
I'll always be
I'm
a
the
whaler.
same way.
So it's
Right.
New Bedford colors to me are red and white.
Yeah,
but
I'm the same. I feel
as
the
far
same.
as our official city business colors, I'll say,
Yeah, it's
like white, gray, blue, green. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the app is white, blue, and green. It says NB, New Bedford on it, and download it. It's 100% free, and it walks you through the entire process. All you need is an email address.
right.
You type in your email address, and then that's pretty much
And
it.
you're ready to go. Yeah.
And you can start using it that minute. As soon as you're
Good.
done signing up,
Right.
and you can get as much or as little information as you want.
So
and you can stay anonymous if you want to.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes if there's an issue and you don't want to say
You just block
Scott
out your name.
Pemberton
You just block out your
said
name.
that there's a problem over
Yeah.
here, you can remain anonymous,
Right.
and nobody will really know
who you
who
are.
sent it. So
So and one other thing with the bill paying, I know. So I have a computer at home too, so I can go, which I mostly pay online through my computer. But you can also use this app now.
Yep.
It seems like it would be even easier and faster to use the app than it would be just
Well,
online. Right?
the app as of right now, it's going to bring you to the city's webpage.
So it's the same way as
Right.
if you want it. Okay.
But that'll be something that's again, the best thing about this app, and not so much with the See-Click Fix app, is we as a government, the mayor's office and the information management department, our data department, they have the ability to tweak this thing as big as they want, really.
Yeah.
Where with the See-Click Fix, we were kind of limited. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Sky's the limit
on
with
one.
this, and I
Nice.
think the more people
Nice.
use it, the better our roads are going to be, and the less pain and headaches the everyday citizen's going to have.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great app. I did have the See-Click Fix myself too, but the way this is set up, I think it's.
I just deleted the See-Click Fix app 2 days
Did
ago.
you? Yeah.
I said I'm not going to use this thing
Right.
anymore. But I definitely will, recommend everybody to go out there and download the NBConnected app.
All right, sounds good. So again, with Ward 3 City Councillor Shawn Oliver, we're talking about the new app that the city has with an NBConnected. That's with the ED at the end. It's not NB Connect, it's Connected, ED at the end. Shawn, it's been a pleasure having you again.
Listen, anytime.
I mean, and it's. I mean, these stuff. I think I have to change my times.
Yeah,
for the
you have
shows.
to do
I think
something
I
or
have to
whatever.
have them longer or
Because
something.
I'm a talker too.
Yeah,
So I can fill the time. But thanks for having me.
No, and thanks for being here. Like I said, and it's very important, anyways, for the community to get all the information they can out here, and and this is a perfect way of getting it out there. So.
Well, again, thank you, Scott. Anytime.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. All right, folks. This is what's happening in your neighborhood. It was a Ward 3 City Councilor, Shawn Oliver. I'm Scott Pemberton. Thank you.